Welcome to yoga. And perhaps sitting on a blanket, it can be folded with a little elevation. We're going to start today with the butterfly pose, which is a yin yoga pose where we bring feet together and knees apart. And so I've already made a choice that's not very compassionate by putting my feet on the floor instead of on my mat. So please take a moment to cushion yourself, elevate yourself. Arrange so that your feet have plenty of space from your hips. It's a comfortable choice. You may support under your knees. We want to gently come forward. So with not that pulling ourselves forward that we do in Hatha poses, but just an easing forward. Perhaps feeling some stimulation across the lower back. Keep sensation reasonable. So in yin, we come to an appropriate edge and we remain open to sensations we might experience. Compassion in place so that you can make choices that protect your body. If you'd like to join me in connecting with the roots of your big toes, where the kidney energy comes into the body, actually at the pinky toe, but it comes across the K1, which is at the root of your big toes. Let me place your thumbs there lightly. Easing forward for 1 minute. Letting stillness guide us into our yoga practice. Stop doing other things and come into body awareness. Come into breath awareness. There's no need to engage anything here. You may be still. You are free to stop or change at any point. Soften your eyes, your face. Move your breath through your nose. Letting the breath be free. Concentrating on stillness. If you need to check in with your ego, it's probably there right in the front, blocking everything else. So say hello to the controller. Stay determined with your awareness of body and breath, and let that become the foreground. Just one more breath. Thank yourself for that patience and stillness. Release slowly into a neutral position, letting your legs release open, fingers back. Lean back, but don't push yourself into a back bend. Just relax into a neutral position, staying still. Eyes become soft and downward gazing. So we're centering our brain with our eyes centering towards our nose. Keeping your forehead relaxed. Breathe again, soft and open. And then pick up your right leg with your hands. And you can draw it in today. Let your knee bend if needed. Hug it into your body. Use your arms to help you sit up tall. Move your ankle and foot and toes a few moments. Just explore your own body. You may close your eyes. You can look at your foot and ankle if that helps you feel more connected to the sensation and what it needs. Relax it. Hold your knee hinge. Externally rotate your hip hinge. Hip, not hinge, sorry, ball and socket. Other side. Hip joint. Hug it in. Let your knee bend if you need it to. Either with eyes closed and just feeling, or with gazing towards your foot. Move foot, ankle, toes. all those ways. Just check in, release tension there, connect, relax, knee, actual hinge, hip, ball and socket, external rotation. Settle in, lean slightly forward, sit up tall with your low back drawing in and up. Just trace your own low back with your awareness. Bring your right hand to face forward at your chest, your left hand coming in to connect. Bring your hands together so that you don't hurt yourself with your fingernails for Ganesha's Mudra. So we connect and we're going to pull pretty strongly on the exhales. Breathe in, soften, float. Breathe out, pull, but don't let go. Activate your upper body. The releasing of obstacles, gesture twice more. Breathe in, float, soft. Exhale, slowly pull, activate. Once more. Rest your hands on your heart center, deep breath. A little gentle pressure there, connect. Other hand facing out. Bring your right fingers in to meet. Inhale, soft, exhale, pull 3 times. Just the right amount so you feel activity in your chest and back, your sides, your ribs, your shoulders, all of it. And this last one with the intention of removing obstacles that are blocking your path to happiness. Relax, release, connect with your heart, deep breath. And then heart lifting pose, bring back your fingers. Fingers forward, hands back, lean back into your elbows. Lift your heart. Come into a little back bend extension, downward gaze. Deep breathing. Spiral out your hands. Press them into the earth. We work with our own arm length here as far as how much you bend or straighten your arms. Let it feel good in your spine. Over to the right side, side bend. Freedom of expression, side bend. Your own shape. 2, organizing the breath, even waves through the nose. Breathe out, soften in. Breathe in, center. Breathe out, second side. Express yourself on this side, finding nice side stretch. Check in with your shoulders down if you tend to ride them up towards your ears. We soften our eyes back towards the center, soft and downward, nose gaze. You can follow the nose tip out to the floor or whatever's in front of you to settle it down to the earth. One more exhale. Breathe in into a twist, so tall spine, relaxed belly. Come round, look back, twist. Just the right amount in each pose. And we try to come into familiar shapes with a beginner's mind and meet it with curiosity and non-judgment. For another breath, let's turn the head the other way. Look off the other shoulder. Exhale, soften to center. Ground into the earth. Sit tall, second side, look back, twist. Just swing yourself around slowly to catch your opposite knee. Hand behind, look back, breathe deeply. On the exhales, you can have a little toning way down low in your belly, but don't keep your belly contracted. Keep your belly wound so your spine is free for twisting. Breathe deeply. Turn your head slowly for the last breath. Return to center, catching your forehead with your right hand, the back of your skull with your left. Navel towards the spine to support a nice upright posture. And exhale, thinking Om 3 times. You can create the sound or hum or just think it. Releasing mental tension. Oh. Let go and have a moment to listen to your own heart. Please come to bridge pose, lying down, Setu Bandhasana. Releasing blankets out of the way for the moment, lie down. Bend your knees, place your feet. Find the center of the back of your skull. Open your arms beside you on the floor. Just relax and breathe deeply a few times. Grounding. Stretching your breathing space. Let's practice a 3-part breath together where you start an inhale way down low in your belly. So exhale it out. Inhale, let your belly rise. Let the breath fill your torso gradually up to your collarbones and release it from the top to the bottom. Notice how much control you have over those movements. 3 breath in, 3 breath out. Feel your navel naturally contract in your pelvic floor as you exhale. Then lift to bridge pose. Staying centered on your skull, you might slide your head away a bit, make room. And just lengthen the front of your body gently. Open heart, deep breath. A sustainable bridge, not maximum effort, just something you can hold. Be patient if you're still developing your ability to hold this pose just a little longer. Try to release any extra effort from it. Slowly breathe out, let your spine come down from the top to the bottom, letting your pelvis land back on the earth. Bring both of your knees to your chest, Apanasana. Apana, that downward energy, that exhale energy. Rocking to seated if you need to roll to one side instead to protect yourself in some way in your body. Do that instead. Holding on, rounding and rocking. Seated hug for a moment. Make your way back. If you have rolled to one side, hugging your knees just like we did on our back. So we try to make ourselves a little smaller for our transitions with 0 judgment about what size we are. We're all these beautiful variations. Let yoga be something positive for yourself. Accept yourself. Crossing your ankles facilitates this transition. Draw your feet in close. It's okay to transition in another way to tabletop. Bring your hands out in front, let them spiral open. Then lean forward, press your hands, release to your knees, and work your way back to your tabletop. And quarter dog pose, tuck under your toes, stretch back, arms long, head down, 5 breaths. New perspective. Grounding your brain, your forehead, heart. Gently lengthening your spine. One more exhale, try to pull your hips away from your hands. Striking cobra practice 3 times. Inhale to an upward dog shape. Slowly, careful with your shoulders, careful with your low back. Tuck your tail there to make space. And you can pull back with a little speed. Come forward, strike slowly. Breathe in, nose gaze, your own degree of all of this. And release back. Last one. Roll your shoulders back, stretch your belly, downward gaze. Press your hands, sink back. Rise up to cat spine on your fingertips. Deep breath in. Deep breath out, relax to tabletop and rock side to side for a moment, grounding. Try to ground the tops of your feet. Find a gentle uplift in your belly. And settle to center. Tiger pose, right leg reaches straight back. Breathe in. Knee bends, elbows bend, everything comes to the center, exhale. Twice more. Extend out, long spine. Reach, exhale, curl in, hug your elbows in. Once more, press the arms, extend. Exhale, curl. Second side. Begin with an inhale and the reach back. Exhale, curl. Twice more. Mindful. Let it feel right. Don't worry about what it looks like. Find the energy of each position in your own way. And release. Inhale, cat spine. Tuck your tail, drop your head, press your hands. Exhale, heart forward cow. Keep your low back flat. Again, inhale, cat. Exhale to cow. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Neutral. Look at your right foot. And then sink back. Walking your arms over towards the left. So we'll all look a little different here. So a variation of going back to quarter dog, but adding a little side by looking back at your right foot as you reach across. And we use our resources to hold us steady. Our internal subtle core, steady breathing and concentration. Release with slowness. Other side, looking back towards your left foot, hips back towards your feet to any degree, and walk your hands both towards the left side. Bow down, breathe steadily. Try to release tension in your own body with your choices. Last breath. Come slowly to center. So I try to always remind you, especially with side bends, so we protect our low backs. Downward dog. A moment to spiral out your hands. Pick up, reset. Tuck your toes under. Inhale, bow down, pressing your legs back. Bend your right knee. Release, bend your left knee. Walk it out a few more times. And then release your heels towards the earth. Exhale. Inhale, shift forward to plank. And exhale to downward dog. Again, shift forward and back. This time, shift forward, breathe in, breathe out. Step forward. Transition to standing, take your time. If you're ready to shed a layer or anything, if you need to refine anything that might get in your way and distract you, otherwise don't fuss, just stand, find the roots of your big toes, that point we touched earlier, that K1 energy point, earth connector. Nice, gentle lift to your heart center, shoulders relax on the ribs. Arrive, mountain pose. Good. Ready for breath of joy into sun salutation. So we breathe in slowly, front, more side, more top. Exhale slowly, forward fold. Breathe twice more. Let your knees bend as needed, hands where they reach. Halfway lift, maybe your hands come up a bit higher as you lengthen through the top of your skull. Third breath, inhale. Exhale. Bring back your legs into plank pose. Bend your knees, hands down. One leg at a time, plank. Maybe your knees are down, that's fine. 3, just 2 more breaths. Press the earth from your thighs towards the sky. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Again, your knees could also be down here. External shoulders off the ears. Let your neck lengthen in this pose to get a nice gentle tractioning with gravity. The gazing point is to your navel, your nabi drishti. So tuck your chin, last breath. Knees down, release your feet. Make your way to your belly for cobra, perhaps trying the knees, chest, and chin. Give yourself space on your mat, and I'm finding that having my hands really wide helps me here. So we're gonna figure out our own proportions to come down. Release back your legs. Cobra pose, hands by your chest, legs together, 5 soft breaths. Just a little lift of your heart. Gently strengthening your back. Point your toes. So we feel our toes energy as we gaze at our nose energy. One more deep breath. And relax down, soften, heels out, shoulders soft, head right. Front body grounding. Learning how to go into a non-doing. Other side. Turn your head. Let everything surrender to gravity. You really get yourself heavy into your front body. Notice how your breath moves into your back. One more time. Notice your breath. Downward facing dog, make your way. Go down and up dog if you wanted to. Step forward on your mat, breathe in. Breathe out, fold forward. Standing up, use your feet and legs. Rise, reach. Exhale down. Right leg in front of left. Side bend. A little tail tug energy might feel good in this position to avoid any over shortening in your low back. Release, second side. Try to let your own body experience, your own breath be the first layer of your awareness. That my instructions are at least a layer out. Just take what you need from it. Stay present with yourself. Breathe out. Inhale, center, release your legs. Inhale again, gently up and back. Exhale slowly to forward fold. Inhale to half lift pose. Exhale back to plank pose. For side planks, perhaps the knee down version, you can start that knee down right leg, other foot behind, open it out. So let your shoulder feel comfortable. Your hand can be ahead or right underneath. If you want to straighten out both your legs, do it. 2, 3, determination, resilience. Press the earth once more. Second side, set it up. So if you know the pose pretty well, you can get a few extra breaths in. Come in and take your time as needed for 1, 2, 3, 4, and the last breath. Release back to center, knees down, draw back, relax your arms for a moment, straighten by your legs, child's pose. Learning how to create and calm energy. Finding a nice balance of the two. Upward facing dog, inhale. Release the front of your body, gaze down. Flip your feet one at a time. Downward dog, 5 breaths. Once you come into the shape, you can relax your hands more. Just let them press down. Let your thumbs rest inward towards your fingers. Sometimes you really need your thumbs in the transitions. Deep breath again. Hands and feet pressing strongly into the earth. Such a grounding pose. Coming forward, make your way. Stretch to half lift with your next in breath. Exhale, fold. Coming up to Utkatasana pose. Bend your knees nice and low with your hips and arms parallel to the floor for 1. Shoulders draw back into the body, 2. Don't hold back on how low you are, 3, 4, and 5. Press it straight, inhale. Exhale, Uttanasana. Guide yourself to the straight leg forward fold of your choice. You can release your hands from your pelvis to your toes or your elbows if you would like. Calming the nervous system, breathing into the back body. One more exhale. Hands back to your pelvis, press your feet, bend your knees, and stand up. Breathe out. Right leg back, warrior A. Tuck under your tailbone a little bit. Release your arms. Swing them upward, hands meet. Open feet. Five, warrior B, turn to the side, reach front and back. Only change what you need to. And lately I've been throwing myself into a back bend here. And one of my teachers helped point out that I needed to ground my front rib cage a little more. So I'm trying to find a nice grounded front body in this pose. Reverse warrior, you can change your leg if you need to unbend it on the front leg. Lean back, cow face arms optional for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Extended side angle, release, lean. Reach straight up to the sky on variation today, gathering your fingers. Nice long neck. Soften what you can, breathe out. Inhale, rise to wide parallel feet. And breathe out. Make a choice about your arms if you want to join me with the interlace behind or the elbow holding. Forward fold slowly. You may bend your knees. If it feels good to release your arms from your body, you may do so. To the top of your head towards the floor. Squeeze your shoulder blades together to open your chest. One more time. Exhale, soften in. Inhale, come up slowly. Release, pause. Second side with all those warriors. Make your way to the front. With practice, we learn these. Warrior A, just a moment to find your shape. Refine where you need a little extra attention, maybe in the low back. Bring up your arms as you're ready, shoulders down. Eyes downward today. Follow your nose tip. Bringing together the steadiness of body, breath, and eyes. B, turn to the side, reach your front and back. Bring your front low ribs together to ground your front body, shoulders down. Sometimes you notice something you need to refine, do that, and then go back to your steadiness. Exhale, reverse. Try to keep your front knees centered. One more breath out. Last one, lean and reach. Arm straight up version today. Fifth breath, once more. Release. Rise up to the wide parallel feet again. Turn your toes towards the corners of your mat roughly. Bend your right knee out towards your toes for side lunge. Bring your right hand, this is the left side. Please bend your left knee towards your left toes. Left hand behind your skull. Right foot tries to come to the front of your mat. Arms straight, pull back into the protection gesture. Hold steady. Fearlessness, courage. Breathe out. And let's find these actions with the other leg. So the side lunge, toes towards the corner, knees same way. Elbow bends, other toes towards the back, stop sign hand. Gaze at your stop sign, fearless, hold steady. Holding all these 4 actions, 4 limbs. Concentrate. One more breath out. Inhale, release. And stay on this side of your mat. Bring up your arms, breathe in. Exhale, side bend to the right, just a little bit. Inhale up, it's a full moon right now. Exhale over to the other side. And inhale, center. Exhale, heart, and turn out toes, hips down, goddess pose for 1. Try to focus on an upright spine. Exhale. Breathe in and flow to triangle pose facing your left side. Over to your left leg. Just keep it soft today. Change the energy from the warriors. Breathe out. Release over to the other side. Reach up and down. Breathe in and release back to the top section of your mat. Focusing on balance for a moment. Pick up your right foot and place your right foot behind your left. Maybe come to the top of your foot if you can balance that way. And let your right hand face up, fingers up. Left hand, fingers down. Shiva's message. Back to that gesture of protection. Adding the gesture of mercy. Mercy towards the unjust. Other side. Concentrate. Release. Time to come to the earth. Reach up to the sky. Fold in. Bring down your hands and come down to your knees. Having a blanket, if you have one, in a rectangle, not too thick, but thicker than this is fine. Spread it out on your mat, and we're just going to lie down in a back bend that is gently elevated by a rectangle of blanket underneath our torso. So not so high that you have to worry about your positioning very much. It's okay to do this just on your back without any support. Just by lying on our backs and bringing our arms overhead, we naturally come into an extension of back bend. Give yourself plenty of time to transition. We're just standing and flowing and moving around a lot, so be still again. Deeply breathe and release. Twice more. Feel the action of the breath in the torso, the expansion, the grounding and centering of the exhale. Weaving your low ribs together as you exhale one more time, feeling anchored into your belly center. Rolling to one side or rocking up if it feels like you can safely do that on the blanket if you're on one. And perhaps put your seat up onto that blanket of, if it's available, to kind of seated forward fold. Slowly support your legs, let them bend if needed so that you are tilting forward out of your pelvis and not rounding there. So that's important. So bend your knees as much as you need to get that forwardness, and then come down, maybe the legs straighten a bit more. And you lightly draw back on your toes if you like. But by now, you might just feel like you have arrived. Let's give it 3 more breaths with the opportunity, if you'd like, to draw yourself into the shape a little bit more. To pull yourself in with your hands. Just the right amount, though. Consider this Give yourself a little squeeze with your hands and come to your back body to create the same shape. So if you have a very thin blanket, you can leave it, maybe move your blanket. If you have a thicker one, lie down and bring your legs towards your face. So you don't have to lift your hips much. You can lift them a little bit. Moving your hair and everything so you can be centered on the back of your skull. And if it feels safe to lift up into a version of plow pose, with the hips off the ground. On the ground is also a version of plow, so it's fine. 5 slow breaths. 1. Be patient. If this feels more challenging, upside down than forward facing, whatever you observe, try to observe without judgment. It is what it is. Breathe out, letting your spine release back down if it's lifted, and your knees to your chest. Bringing your right leg over your left into figure 4 shape. The closeness of your lower leg is up to you. So you can stay with your foot down, or if you want to bring your legs towards your chest, you can give that a go. Find the right place for your body here. Attention, keeping your head and neck centered along, free flow of energy. And last breath on this side. Release slowly. Uncross. Second side. Coming in with mindful energy to create the shape to the other side. Possibly changing the distance between your chest and your legs, and your torso and your legs. Meditative mind, steady breathing. We've been practicing for quite a few minutes now, dropping in. Just keep guiding yourself back in when you wander away. A gentle determination infused with compassion. One more breath. Release with care. Resting twist of your choice. So for more hip stretching, you can use the crossover version. And you go to the side of your lower leg, the leg underneath, if that feels good in your body. So we'll go both ways. You can start on either side. Create a lying down twist that feels nice in your body, that feels like it frees energy, creates peace. When we create peace in our bodies, when we create peace in our breathing, this helps us create a peace in our minds. So if there's a part of your body that is not at peace here, that feels overly stretched or strained, back away from that feeling so that you come to a peaceful feeling. Allowing yourself to get nice and soft as we finish. Over to the other side slowly. If you want to pause and center, just to take it in. Plenty of time and space. Optional with the crossover version. Just letting your knees go one way and your head turn the other as you open across the front of your body, releasing across your back body. Take out any strain, breathe deeply. Letting your breath stretch you. Breathe it out again. Take your time with it. And preparing your body, coming back to center, preparing for rest. So if your blanket is underneath you and still feels nice, you may leave it there. Make sure that you give yourself warmth and cushioning. Plenty of time and space for this practice today. Maybe eye coverings. Certainly warm things to keep you from losing the warmth of your practice too quickly. It's hard to be restful when you're cold. So make some choices here. Where you feel the most comfortable resting? Is it on your belly, side, or back? Come on into Shavasana rest. Plenty of time to get comfortable. If you would like to release a breath with an open mouth and some sound, just letting go of that organization of the breath, letting it gradually soften back to freedom, but also keeping the breath close enough that we are supported by its presence. Be patient with yourself in this process of transition. Make sure that you tell yourself that it's okay to take some rest. It's just a few moments, a few minutes. Everything else will be there for us, but will come with renewed energy, letting all that hard work we put into the practice be received. Relax the backs of your knees, the skin of your forehead, fingers and toes. Everything soft. When day comes, we ask ourselves, where can we find light in this never-ending shade? The loss we carry, a sea we must wade. We've braved the belly of the beast. We've learned that quiet isn't always peace. And the norms and notions of what just isn't always justice. And yet the dawn is ours before we knew it. Somehow we do it. Somehow we've weathered and witnessed a nation that isn't broken, but simply unfinished. We, the successors of a country and a time where a skinny Black girl descended from slaves and raised by a single mother can dream of becoming president, only to find herself reciting for one. And yes, we are far from polished, far from pristine, but this doesn't mean we're striving to form a union that is perfect. We are striving to forge our union with purpose, to compose a country committed to all cultures, colors, characters, and conditions of man. And so we lift our gazes not to what stands between us, but what stands before us. We close the divide because we know to put our future first, we must first put our differences aside. We lay down our arms so that we can reach our arms out to one another. We seek harm to none and harmony for all. Let the globe, if nothing else, say this is true, that even as we grieved, we grew, that even as we hurt, we hoped, that even as we tired, we tried, that we'll forever be tied together, victorious, not because we will never again know defeat, but because we will never again sow division. Scripture tells us to envision that everyone shall sit under their own vine and fig tree, and no one shall make them afraid. If we're to live up to our own time, then victory won't lie in the blade, but in all the bridges we've made. That is the promised glade. The hill we climb, if only we dare it, because being American is more than a pride we inherit. It's the past we step into and how we repair it. We've seen a force that would rather shatter our nation rather than share it, would destroy our country if it meant delaying democracy. And this effort very nearly succeeded. But while democracy can be periodically delayed, it can never be permanently defeated. In this truth, in this faith we trust, for while we have our eyes on the future, history has its eyes on us. This is the era of just redemption. We feared it as its inception. We did not feel prepared to be the heirs of such a terrifying hour, but within it we found the power to author a new chapter, to offer hope and laughter to ourselves. So while once we asked, how could we possibly prevail over catastrophe, now we assert, how could catastrophe possibly prevail over us? We will not march back to what was, but move to what shall be. A country that is bruised but whole, benevolent but bold, fierce and free. We will not be turned around or interrupted by intimidation, because we know our inaction and inertia will be the inheritance of the next generation. Our blunders will become their burdens, but one thing is certain, if we merge mercy with might and might with right, then love becomes our legacy and change our children's birthright. So let us leave behind a country better than the one we were left. With every breath from our bronze-pounded chests, we will raise this wounded world into a wondrous one. We will rise from the gold-lined hills of the west. We will rise from the windswept northeast, where our forefathers first realized revolution. We will rise from the lake-rimmed cities of Midwestern states. And we will rise from the sun-baked south. We will rebuild, reconcile, and recover in every known nook of our nation, in every corner called our country. Our people, diverse and dutiful, will emerge battered but beautiful. When day comes, we step out of the shade, aflame and unafraid. The new dawn blooms as we free it, for there is always light, if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it. Begin gently guiding your breathing through your left side of your nose, your left channel, your moon channel. Calm and cool, soft and receptive. Feel an exhale leave. Inhale both sides, let it energize you, let your body begin to move, to open, to change back to a seated position, taking your time with the process. Coming and sitting with the peace you have created, leaving your fingers in the gesture of new beginnings. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings everywhere find freedom and peace. Om. Thank you for joining me in this practice today for a special occasion.
I'll never forget her in her beautiful little hat saying that poem.
I know, I feel so unworthy of speaking it. And I know it's a little different direction than I take sometimes, but I feel like I can't be quiet. And today is just a day to speak it out. And
That's right.
for those powerful words. So, and if I can link it, any poem to non-separateness or impermanence, then I feel like it qualifies.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Good to see you all. Laura, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Thank you, Blossom.
You're welcome, Amaret.
Thank you so much.
Oh, we have the same shirt, Amaret. Check it out.
Is this the Patagonia shirt?
Patagonia, yeah.
I've had this for 30 years. I've had this one.
Awesome ways. I got Patagonia on too, but it's a first layer.
Yeah. Bye, Steve. Yeah, it's chilly. Nice to see you, Malika. Jenny.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Bye,
Francesca,
Malika.
for your message.
You were right, Joanne. The wind is here.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we keep our bathtubs full, right?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
keeping mine full until tomorrow. But I felt lucky to go through last night because it was so windy here. Blew my garbage can like 50 yards away from my porch. So my back of my house is like a wind tunnel. So it blew a lot of other stuff around too. So, but I'm hoping that we're going to still stay with power.
Yes. I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think this time we're gonna skate by, but there's another storm coming next weekend. So it's like never a dull moment this winter.
It's, yeah, well, we sledders like that. Careful out there. It's probably not as slippery now, but Aurora went into some barbed wire and
Is she
Um,
okay?
he's okay.
Oh, good.
Luckily, she was
Yeah.
wearing some good layers.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna want to go sledding now that it's so windy though, because it's like just brutally poor, not as much
Yeah.
fun. When it's so windy.
Yeah, this morning was pretty still, so I don't know, earlier might be better. Might have to
Yeah,
get out there or stay cozy.
Yeah, I went for a walk this morning, so I think I may skip this afternoon and maybe just take Stanley for a little walk later because he doesn't go through the snow. He doesn't weigh enough, even as portly as he is after my tenants were taking care of him. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
he just, oh my God, did he twist them around his little paws? So
Yeah. Oh, that's
uh,
sweet. Well, good to know he's well taken care of, even if spoiled.
yes, oh, more than absolutely. And I have to try very hard to resist that temptation to spoil him myself. So
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, we have to be responsible with our spoiling, right?
I know. Well, I just am so glad that he doesn't have cancer. I mean, that was like the last thing that happened right before I left on this trip. So I got the call when I first arrived to Miami that it was just must have been a result of all those things that he ate. My God, I don't know how he lived through that one.
I'm so glad. I know. I
Yeah.
mean, I still can't even believe that Bailey's gone. Like, Stanley needs to stick around for you.
I know. I can't either. He's that one guy like Claude,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
like that one guy. But you know what? Stanley has just like grown into this absolutely fabulous dog. Who would have known it?
Yeah,
So.
I'm so glad. He's very sweet.
He's wonderful. So sometime maybe I could bring him on a play date to play with Ty River. He would love that.
That would be nice.
He would love that. He loves all living creatures. He's not, but I don't know who it's Winslow, right? That's like not so into other dogs, or is it right? It's Winslow.
He's usually fine. And we can always just, let him stay inside. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean, and Stanley's so subservient that he might not bother Winslow because he's like doesn't try to be alpha on anyone. He's like, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm sure it would be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll do that.
Fun. We have a gifty for you.
Yay. Well, we'll
Either
think
way.
about this as soon as the weather is a little more cooperative. We'll do it.
Okay, Jenny.
All
Have a
right.
good
You
rest
have
of
a
your
lovely
day.
day.
Thank
You
you.
too. Bye, sweetie.
Bye.
Enjoy the full moon.
You too. Love you.
Okay. Love you too. Bye.